Commission meeting. We are glad you can join us. I do see we have a quorum. A few housekeeping items to go over before we begin. Please turn off or silence all of your personal communication devices. The applicant and then members of the public may wish to speak to any item before the Plan Commission when the relevant item to which you wish to speak is called and public comment is opened. Unless an exception is made by the Plan Commission, the following rules will apply. The applicant will be given up to 10 minutes to present any information they wish the Plan Commission to consider. Thereafter, members of the public will be given up to 5 minutes to address the specific item before the Plan Commission for consideration. Members of the public may only speak once per called agenda item unless a Plan Commission member requires clarification or wishes to ask you a question. Questions or statements from the audience will not be considered. Only statements from the podium after you've stated your name and address and within the allowed time constraints are taken into consideration. After all community members have had an opportunity to speak on the called agenda item, the applicant will be asked if they have a final statement for the Plan Commission, and then the Commission may take action on that item. The Common Council has adopted rules of decorum for city boards and commissions, including the adoption of a civility pledge. No person shall attack a board or commission member, city official, staff, or any other person. No person shall make irrelevant, unduly repetitive, offensive, threatening, slanderous, defamatory, or obscene remarks or act in such a manner as to disrupt or disturb the orderly conduct of the meeting, including hand clapping, stomping of feet, whistling, shouting, or any other demonstrations. I thank you all for your understanding. Now on to the agenda. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Esslinger?
Here.
Mr. Ulrich? Ms. Pratt?
Here.
Ms. Shireman?
Here.
Mr. Lowenstein? Mr. Nichols? Mr. Bowen? Mr. Coulibaly?
Here.
Ms. Davy?
Here.
Vice Chair Kiefer?
Here.
And Chairman Perry.
Here.
7 board members present.
Wonderful, thank you. First item on the agenda is approval of the April 2nd, 2024 minutes.
Move to accept as written.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the minutes? I'm seeing none. We can have a voice vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? The minutes pass. Item number 1, determine that necessity to acquire and approve partial land acquisitions at 3098, 3105, and 3123 Jackson Street and 370 West Fernau Avenue. Multiple owners. The City of Oshkosh Department of Public Works is the applicant. Have there been any site inspections by Plan Commission members? So noted. I will accept the staff report as part of the record. Please present your summary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The city is requesting approval to acquire 4 small pieces of land located at each of the 4 quadrants of Jackson Street and West Fernau Avenue. The recent approvals of the proposed Valley Christian High School project on Vinland. This has spurred movement to extend Fernau Avenue from Jackson Street all the way to Vinland. The extension of Fernau was originally officially mapped in 1974 with the city acquiring land. There's 2 strips of land heading westward. The city purchased that land in 2006 for future right-of-way. The Department of Public Works has begun to design the extension and determine additional right-of-way dedication will be needed at all 4 corners. This is primarily needed for allowing construction of ADA required sidewalks, wheelchair ramps, and potential intersection signals. The general area is a large mix or a variety of mixes of single-family, industrial, and commercial uses along Jackson Street. There's large tracts of land kind of in back 40s, which is undeveloped, and the comprehensive plan identifies this area suitable for mixed-use development. It's just a schematic drawing of the proposed acquisitions outlined in red. The proposed land acquisitions vary in shape and size, ranging from 118 square feet at the southeast corner to 713 square feet at the northwest corner. Additional right-of-way on the east side of Jackson was acquired in 1996 by the DOT for the Jackson Street repaving project. This one. The proposed acquisitions on the east side, this land is currently located within the city of Oshkosh, while on the west side, these tracts of land are currently located in the town of Oshkosh. After the acquisition process is complete, these two corners, as well as the remainder of Furno Avenue, will be annexed into the city and then followed by official dedication to the public through a certified survey map. This review and subsequent approval by Common Council is the first step for the city to acquire these properties, and the city is required to follow the acquisition process as required by state statute. With that, staff is recommending approval of the partial property acquisitions as requested.
Thank you for your report. Plan Commissioner, any technical questions for the staff? Mr. Kiefer.
Is this going to be a stop and go light intersection or?
Yet to be determined, just in direct with Public Works is coming up.
So still working through the process with the Department of Transportation, DOT. I do believe they'll be signalized, but we're still working through the exact details of what it's going to look like.
The only reason I asked is if it was a roundabout option, that was enough of dedication to do that, or?
It's going to be we've not looked at it, and it probably will not be a roundabout, no.
Any other technical questions for the staff from the Plan Commission? Okay, I'm seeing none. We will have public comment on this. We have had a statement from the applicant, so is there any member from the public that wishes to speak on this agenda item? Any member of the public that wishes to speak on this agenda, approach the podium and state your name and address for the records, please.
Jared Van Landen, W6813 Melanie Court, Greenville, Wisconsin. I'm the property owner on the northeast corner, and I did receive the letter. And my question is related to sidewalks and the pedestrian traffic that's going to take place. And I apologize, I'm a few minutes late here. I wonder is there some insight as to what the sidewalk situation and crossing pattern is going to look like on that corner?
Is the Commission comfortable with that question being answered?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. We'll have Justin come up to answer, but I don't believe the plan is to construct sidewalk at this time.
If he wants to finish, I can answer.
Yeah. Any other questions?
That's my question at this point.
Thank you.
So again, plans are still being developed, still working with the DOT to get the exact requirements of what they're going to require. But big picture, we're looking at having crossings all four directions. So north and south side of Furno going east-west, and then east and west side of Jackson going north-south. So there'll be handicap ramps at all four corners with pedestrian signals, pedestrian push buttons for signals and walking. Currently, as you can see on the image, there is no sidewalk on the north side of Furno Avenue. South side there is, which connects up to the rest of the sidewalk connectivity throughout the rest of the city, Main Street. At some point in time, not necessarily planning with this project, but I would expect sidewalk to be installed on the north side of Furno, but that is not a part of this project at this time.
Yeah, so essentially, the connection points that are part of the street project, the sidewalk ramps and stuff, are what would be installed, not sidewalk connection on other properties.
Thank you. Is there any other member of the public that wishes to speak on this agenda item? Any other member wish to speak on this agenda item? All right, I'm seeing none, so I'm going to close the public comment period. We don't need a closing statement from the applicant, so Plan Commission, the action is upon you.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendation as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this motion? Any discussion on the motion? So I'm seeing none. Let's have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Esslinger?
Aye.
Ms. Pratt?
Aye.
Ms. Sherman?
Aye.
Mr. Coolbelly?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer?
Aye.
Chairman Perry?
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Thank you. Item number 2 is a public hearing. It's a zone change from institutional to 2-flat residential 10, TR10, for the property located at 1333 Eastman Street. Covey Incorporated is the owner and the applicant. Have there been any site inspections of this property? You can add me as well. Thank you, that is noted. I will accept the staff report as part of the record. Please present your summary.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The applicant requests a zone change from the existing institutional to 2-flat residential 10 for a portion of the property located at 1325 Eastman Street. The subject site consists of a single lot with a total of .7345 acres located at the southwest corner of East Custer Avenue and the 1300 block of Eastman Street. The site is currently owned by Covey, who operates an assisted living facility. This request consists of a zone change for the northeast portion of the site where an employee parking lot currently exists. The zone change will accommodate proper zoning for a newly created lot, 1333 Eastman Street, done through a CSM. The surrounding area consists of commercial uses to the north, single-family residential uses to the east, and multifamily uses to the south and west. The applicant is requesting a zone change to 2-flat residential 10 for the subject property. The applicant intends to utilize the new lot for a home to house 4 adults with disabilities. This type of land use is considered a single-family residential use and is allowed within our residential districts. This rezone request is intended to provide appropriate zoning to allow for the future residential use of that newly created lot as it is permitted by right. The proposed TR10 zoning is consistent with the 2040 Comprehensive Land Use Plan recommendation of light density residential for the subject site. The proposed rezone will be consistent with the land uses to the east, west, and south. Here is a site plan. And for this reason, staff is supportive of the proposed rezoning of the subject site, and staff recommends approval of the zone change with the findings listed in the staff report.
Wonderful, thank you for your report. Plan Commission, any technical questions to staff on this item? Any technical questions to staff on this item? Okay, I'm seeing none, so this is a public hearing. So I will open the public hearing and ask the applicant to make a opening statement. Is the applicant here tonight?
Yes.
Please approach the podium and state your name and address for our records, please.
So my name is Tony Gonzalez. Our address up for Covey is 2200 Algoma Boulevard in Oshkosh. Thank you for the opportunity to talk with you about our proposal today. I am the Chief Operating Officer of Covey Incorporated. As was mentioned, we are both a residential and community-based service provider for people with disabilities in Winnebago and Outagamie counties. The request is for us to change, of course, the zoning, which will allow us to build an approximately 2,000 square foot ranch home at the corner of 1333 Eastman Street that will serve as a licensed adult family home, again, for 4 individuals. This will be their permanent home, if you're not familiar with that kind of arrangement, where we will provide 24-hour care to the individuals that need support around the clock by our paid staff. The home will allow 4 individuals, of course, a new permanent home that may take them until the end of their life. This home will allow for us to foster their inclusion in the community. It will allow us to support a fulfilling lifestyle for them that will provide them opportunities and options to engage in the community in a way and in ways that they have not been able to in the past. It will also help prevent isolation and any accompanying issues that result from isolation with some individuals that we serve. The building of this home will be a substantial improvement in the use of this property than it currently is. Currently, it doesn't show in the pictures, of course, but it is a parking lot that is primarily over the entire property, and it is in need of significant repair. It has a row of shrubbery along the Custer Avenue side of the property that has invited a collection of items for kids to build a fort and collect garbage, quite frankly. And though this site has been cleaned up a bit, it remains to be a bit of an unsightly corner, and we'd be very happy to improve upon this property. The building of the home meets a housing need identified in the City of Oshkosh fiscal year 23 action plan, and that is to provide housing, services, and facilities for people with special needs, listed as one of the 6 goals of this plan. The need for the adult family homes is great in our community. If you're not aware, currently we have about 20 people on our waiting list to have a new home. And finally, our general timeline is to build the home in the latter part of 24, opening the home at the end of 24 or the beginning of 25.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there any other members of the public that wish to speak on this agenda item? Please approach the podium and state your name and address for our records, please.
Todd Miller, 881 Honey Creek Road, Oshkosh, Wisconsin, 54904. I have been involved, my wife and I have been involved with Covey for 30 years. We have a soon to be 31-year-old son who functions at a 1-year-old level. He is with us right now. We are going to keep him as long as we can. He currently goes to the Covey Respite House, which is right next door. He's been going there for 18 years during the day, which allows Mom and I some respite break. Eventually, he's going to end up having to go to an adult family home because we have no family that will take care of him. And as Mr. Gonzalez said, there is a demand out there for this, and I think this is going to go right along with the aging of the population, especially with the disabled community. And I do support this. This is something that is going to be continuing all over the state, all over the nation, and I think this is a good thing for the city of Oshkosh and for Covey. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other member of the public wish to speak on this agenda item? Any other member of the public wish to speak on this agenda item? All right, I'm seeing none, so I'm going to close the public hearing. I don't necessarily need a closing statement from the applicant unless they wish to speak again. So, Plan Commission, the action is upon you.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendations as stated in the staff report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this motion? I need to say that as a former official in an organization very similar to this, that I'm very comfortable with the adult family home model because there's a lot of oversight and overview of this particular model. There will be 4 individuals who could be followed by up to 4 different organizations who at all times will have access to the people in these houses. And so there's a lot of eyeballs that go into a little facility like this. Makes it a very good neighborhood project, and there'll be great neighbors to everybody around there. So I'm total in support of this. I think it's a great opportunity, and there is a tremendous need in the community for more facilities like this. Any other discussion on the motion? All right, I'm seeing none, so let's have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Esslinger?
Aye.
Ms. Prop?
Aye.
Ms. Shireman?
Aye.
Mr. Kulabali?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer?
Aye.
Chairman Perry?
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Item number 3 is also a public hearing. It's a conditional use permit amendment for an outdoor storage use at 2840 Oregon Street. Mountaintop Investments LLC is the owner. Mach 4 Engineering and Surveying LLC is the applicant. If there have been any site inspections of this property? Okay, those so noted. I will accept the staff report as part of the property. Please present your summary.
Thank you. So the subject site is located on Oregon Street, north of West 29th Avenue, and it is used for warehousing purposes, and it is zoned heavy industrial districts and surrounded by primarily industrial uses. In December of last year, Common Council approved a conditional use permit for removal of the roof from the Quonset hut style building for outdoor storage of pallets within the remaining walls of that building. The applicant has revised their plans to, they are no longer removing the Quonset hut building roof, and they would now like to store their pallets in existing paved areas of the site, shown around here. They will be screening those pallets with 8-foot tall solid fencing on the street side of the storage area to meet code requirements for screening from non-industrialized areas. It does require a conditional use permit amendment as they are no longer using the Quonset hut style building as the outdoor storage, so that has changed. Staff does not have concerns with the proposed CUP amendments as the proposed outdoor storage area will meet current screening requirements with the 8-foot tall solid fencing buffering it from the public right of way. So with that, staff recommends approval of the proposed CUP amendment with the findings in your staff report.
Thank you for your report. Plan Commission, are there any technical questions for the staff? Any technical questions for the staff? All right, I'm seeing none. This is a public hearing, so I will open the public hearing and ask if the applicant is here and like to make a statement. Is the applicant here?
Yes.
Approach the podium and state your name and address for our records, please.
Joel Airforth, Mach 4 Engineering. Just be available for any questions. I think staff did a nice job of summarizing what we're proposing.
Wonderful, thank you. Any member of the public wish to speak on this agenda item? The public hearing is open to any member of the public that wishes to speak on this agenda item. Any member wish to speak? Okay, I'm seeing none, so I'm going to close the public hearing. We don't need a closing statement from the applicant, so Plan Commission, the action is upon you.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendations as stated in the staff report.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Any discussion on the motion? Okay, seeing none, let's have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Esslinger?
Aye.
Ms. Prom?
Aye.
Ms. Shireman?
Aye.
Mr. Kulabali?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer?
Aye.
Chairman Perry?
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Okay, thank you. Item number 4 is another public hearing. It's a zone change from suburban mixed-use district, SMU, to a suburban mixed-use district with a planned development overlay, and approval of a general development plan and specific implementation plan for a drive-through restaurant at 502 West Murdoch Avenue. Carcana Properties is the owner. Lane Kleist is the applicant. Have there been any site inspections? With me. Thank you. We're noting that. I will accept the staff report as part of the record. Please present your summary.
Thank you. So the subject site is a third of an acre in size, located on the north side of West Murdoch Avenue, west of Jackson Street. It is zoned suburban mixed-use district and has an existing car wash building. Here's a view of the subject site. So the applicant is requesting a zone change from SMU to SMU PD, and they're requesting that plan development overlay to allow for flexibility in the zoning ordinance to accommodate a new use in the property, and they have submitted plans for a drive-through restaurant. So the rezone would accommodate redevelopment of the site due to site constraints related to the minimal size of the lot. Staff is supportive of the proposed rezone as it will serve to accommodate future development needs for the site. And there was a Plan Commission workshop held in February of this year with the concept plans and Plan Commission voicing support for those plans. Here's the site plan. The applicant is proposing to demolish the existing building and parking lot in the subject site for development of a 918 square foot drive-through restaurant, which is Domino's. It will serve pre-ordered food only to be picked up at pickup windows for vehicles and pedestrians. So only employees and delivery drivers will be allowed in the building. The applicant is requesting a BSM for reduced front yard setback for the pavement to 17 feet where code requires a 25-foot setback, and staff is supportive of that BSM due to the limited area on the site to meet setbacks as well as all other code required parking and building areas. The applicant is also requesting a BSM to allow increased impervious surface ratio to 79%, where code allows a maximum impervious surface of 70%. Staff is also supportive of the increased impervious surface ratio, again, due to the relatively small size of the lot and fitting all the needed amenities. Also, it is a significant improvement from the existing impervious surface ratio on the site of 100%. The applicant has submitted signage plans, including wall signage on the front and sides, which appear to meet code requirements. Also proposing a new monument or pylon sign, which would be 22 feet tall. It would have a 17-foot setback from the front property line and 5-foot setback from the side property line. The proposed size is about 47 square feet, which is well under the maximum of 100 square feet based on the linear footage of the front property. The applicant is requesting BSMs for reduced front yard setback to 17 feet and side yard setback to 5 feet. Staff is supportive of the requested BSMs, as these setbacks will match the front and side pavement setbacks, and they will prevent obstruction of the drive lane. Also, the sign height is well under the maximum height of 30 feet for the SMU district, and the sign area is less than half of the ground sign area allowance, so that serves to offset the BSM request for reduced setbacks. Here's the landscape plan. It is meeting building foundation point requirements. However, they will need to swap out shrubs for perennials on the front side of the building to meet the point requirement for the street-facing facade. They are meeting paved area, street frontage, and yard landscaping requirements, and they are exceeding the overall point requirement, providing 126% of the required points, and that also serves to offset requested base standard modifications. Here are the proposed building elevations. They are exceeding the Class 1 material requirements on the front and side facades, and they are requesting a BSM for the rear side facades for a Class 4 material to be on those side facades, which would be vinyl wrap over that exterior. Here's an example. Domino's has used vinyl wrap on their exterior coolers, and they typically have a material print, like this one's shown kind of like brick, and then they have artwork on the wrap, and any artwork on the vinyl wrap will be subject to the city's mural ordinance. And staff is supportive of the requested BSM for Class 4 material, the vinyl wrap on those side facades, as they are towards the rear of the building and minimally visible from the public right-of-way, and they are also providing increased Class 1 materials to offset that request. So the applicant is requesting base standard modifications for reduced ground sign and pavement setbacks, increased impervious surface ratio, and allowance of a prohibited exterior material. And to compensate, the applicant is providing 126% of the required landscaping points, reduced ground sign area, and exceeding the Class 1 material requirement. So staff feels that the applicant has sufficiently offset the BSM requests. And one thing to note is the list of conditions did not include a BSM request for the Class 4 material in your staff report, and I intended to have that in there, but did not put that in there, so my apologies for that. But we are adding that as a sixth condition to allow the Class 4 materials on the side facades.
Okay, thank you for your report. Plan Commission, any technical questions to the staff? Any technical questions to the staff? Okay, I'm seeing none, so this is a public hearing, so I'm going to open the public hearing now and ask for a statement from the applicant if they're here. Is the applicant here? I'd like to approach the podium and state your name and address for our records, please.
Good afternoon, Eric Stoddard with Domino's Pizza. I couldn't explain it any better than this gentleman did of what we wanted to do. He got into every little detail that we're hoping you guys were going to approve on. I'm basically here to ask or answer any questions that you guys have.
Wonderful, thank you very much. Is there any member of the public that wishes to speak on this agenda item? Is there any member of the public that wishes to speak on this agenda item? Okay, I'm seeing none, so I'm going to close the public hearing. Since there were no statements, we don't need a closing statement from the applicant, or do we?
No, but I have one comment I want to make.
But we have a comment from the planning director.
Because we forgot to list condition 6 here, based on item number 6, I would ask when you make the motion, instead of just the normal plus condition 6 as noted. That make sure we formally get it added to the record before it goes to council.
All right, so we have that part of it done, so commission, the action is upon you.
Motion to adopt the findings and recommendations, including number 6, as are listed in the staff report.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion? Ms. Shireman?
My question just is about those vinyl wraps. So, generally speaking, I'm okay with them. I like signage very, very much. But I'm interested because it's on the, you're okay with it because it's sort of in the back and around. You know, when does that become you're not comfortable with it?
So, the mural ordinance allows them on any side or rear facade under the current code, and just prohibits them on the front. As long as it meets those standards, they are by right allowed.
So if you have a property that's on the corner, so wherever the address is, that's the front.
Correct.
Even though the side.
Correct. If you're on the corner, the side street can have a mural on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So why is it that, why is that no, I mean, I know it was forgotten but wasn't it
So it's
an
not
exception for you?
so the way the zoning code works,
it's
it's not the mural, it's the material that
Materials,
lies
right.
underneath.
Okay.
Typically, we would recommend to you not to use class 4 materials. They're
Yeah.
prohibited in the code. However, in this instance, with the fact that they're going to wrap it, you, I, or no one else is gonna know what's underneath it, so
Yeah.
it makes sense to allow the base standard, but we still have to address the underlying code requirement,
Yeah.
which is what the base standard does.
Got it. That's it. Thank you.
Any other discussion on this motion? Any other discussion on the motion? All right, I'm seeing none, so let's have a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Esslinger?
Aye.
Ms. Prop?
Aye.
Ms. Shireman?
Aye.
Mr. Coolabali?
Aye.
Ms. Davy?
Aye.
Vice Chair Kiefer?
Aye.
Chairman Perry?
Aye.
Motion carried 7-0.
Wonderful, thank you. Last item on the agenda is adjournment.
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. We can have a voiced vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. We do have one workshop.